This is Super Yacht News with E. Sisman.
Hi, welcome back to the channel. Okay, so somebody sent me these photos from yesterday of the motor yacht Vava II off Portofino at anchor. Or is it? This is Portofino. This is one of the most beautiful locations in Italy and perhaps in the world. Now, as you can see here, these are the AIS signatures of all the yachts at anchor in Portofino and a couple docks as well. Now, as you zoom in closer on AIS here, the sizes of the vessels start to show. And this is based on data received from the vessels. They're broadcasting this data. And the size of the vessel is one of the items of data that is manually entered into the system. So see which one is the largest here? Well, by the look of it, it's this one, right? Or maybe this one, or this one. But in actual fact, it's this one. So despite saying just 8 meters, the vessel is actually 97 meters long. Is that a mistake? Well, it's unlikely, as this vessel is broadcasting the name Romulus, but it's actually named Vava II. At least the signs on the yacht say Vava II. So as far as we know, the yacht is owned by Swiss billionaire Ernesto Bertarelli, who sold his pharmaceutical business in 2007 for $13 billion. But as of 2021, his family's fortune is believed to be more like $28 billion. He commissioned this yacht from Davenport Yachts in the UK, and they're now named Pendennis Shipyard. Now, at the time of the launch of this vessel, it was believed to be the largest super yacht ever built in the UK. As far as I know, it still is. So if we type the name Vava II into AIS, we get Vava II, right? And according to AIS, she's off the coast of Cuba. However, if you look closer and look at the date it was actually last broadcast, it's over 3 years ago. So it appears they simply switched off the AIS and never switched it back on again. But why are they broadcasting the name Romulus when the vessel still has the name Vava II on it? And why does it say it's only 8 meters long? Also, if we look at Romulus, the last time it broadcast any data was 16 hours ago. So it appears they're switching off the AIS whenever they're at anchor. There's some funny business going on here, isn't there? They're not simply just switching off the AIS like a lot of the boats have been doing over the last 4 months. The vessel's actually been, it would appear the vessel's actually been renamed Romulus, but they haven't changed the nameplates on the vessel. Now, the reason why I say this is because if you type in the MMSI number, which is a unique number given to the yacht for communication purposes, or the call sign, which is also given by the flag state to the yacht, if you type those numbers into any AIS system like Marine Traffic or Vessel Finder, it comes up with the name Romulus, right? So it is registered to the name Romulus. Why are they doing this? Did the yacht get sold? I mean, I can't find any records of the yacht being sold. As far as I know, it's still owned by the same owner. Why would you keep the old name on the vessel and broadcast the new name? Very strange. It's kind of like hiding in plain sight, right? Everyone thinks it's called Vava II, it's called Romulus. It says it's 8 meters, it's 97 meters. But what purpose does this serve? The main thing I can see is that for people like me looking at it from a computer, you're looking at a different boat, right? That's the only thing I can think of. Because if you're in that location, you can clearly see the boat. You can clearly see which boat it is. You can do a search and find out who the owner is. Now, it is possible that owner has changed and it's just not being recorded. But anyway, stay tuned and we'll go further on this one in a future video. Okay, in 2021, an article in Boat International magazine said that a 63-meter yacht called Force Blue had been sold at auction. The vessel that was once valued at $68 million was listed for sale, according to Boat International, for $7 million. What they neglected to say in the article is the vessel was being sold because it had been confiscated from a previous owner, Flavio Briatore, because of tax evasion. He was convicted. He was accused of tax evasion in 2010, and the case went on for 12 years and 6 court cases. And eventually, in 2021, the vessel was sold at auction. So what they also failed to mention in this article is the new owner is Bernie Ecclestone. If you're an older person and a Formula One fan, you'll recognize these names because Flavio Briatore and Bernie Ecclestone go back to the 1980s. They've been friends for a long time. They were both in Formula One together. Bernie Ecclestone was running the whole deal, and Flavio Briatore was part of the Benetton Formula One racing team. Now we fast forward to 2022. Boat International just put out another article saying that the 63-meter or 206-foot Force Blue is now 229 feet or 70 meters long, thanks to a stern extension and a full refit. Now, with it being a new owner, we'll assume, right, that the new owner paid for this work. So Bernie Ecclestone buys his yacht for $7 million, puts it through a big refit, has a stern extension made on it, and then Boat International says, hey, look, it's just come out of refit. However, this month in the Supreme Court in Italy, they've overruled the appeal court of Genoa, who confiscated Mr. Briatore's yacht. They're going to have another court case. So that will be the 7th court case in 12 years because of this tax evasion charge. And also, it should be noted that the original charge of tax evasion has now expired. I think the statute of limitations, I think they call it in the US, that's now expired. Now, the goal of the trial will be to ascertain if the original confiscation was fair. So in theory, if they overturn the original sentence, does that mean Flavio gets his yacht back? I mean, what if Bernie Ecclestone hadn't bought it? How would that work? Maybe the court will have to compensate Mr. Briatore with cash for the loss of his vessel, which is now with his friend, right? So yeah, so it's kind of lucky that Bernie Ecclestone bought it, right? So on Instagram, Flavio Briatore posted this after the news came out. He said, in May 2010, the Guardia di Finanza, financial police, seized my boat, and the news was spread in the media around the world that I was a tax evader. Today, after 12 years and 6 tests, it means trials, my innocence has finally been proven, a real test that fortunately ended. That's what Flavio Briatore says. His innocence has been proven. Well, we'll wait and see, eh? But in the 1980s, he was convicted of fraud, of constructing these fake card games and robbing millionaires of lots of money. And he was given 2 prison sentences, and he fled from Italy, and he lived as a fugitive in St. Thomas in the Virgin Islands for years until the court in Italy, the EU court, overturned his sentence and for some sort of amnesty. And then in 2010, the court in Italy said that he was rehabilitated in 2010. That's the same year he was charged with tax evasion on this yacht. Yeah, I'll let you make your mind up about this. Anyway, that's an interesting story, isn't it? So anyway, I'm going to leave it there. Let me know what you think of these stories. The first one, the Vava II story, very strange story. If you've got any information about that, please get in touch in the normal way through the About page of the YouTube channel or on Instagram, on Facebook Messenger, and you can also get me on Threema completely anonymously. Be sure to like this video, hit the subscribe button if you haven't already, and hit the bell for future notifications. All right, thanks very much for watching. I'll catch up with you soon. Bye-bye.